Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Warning: 4 harmful habits of the elderly when eating eggs. Do you believe it? A seemingly harmless egg can cause your cholesterol to skyrocket, your joints to ache, your memory to deteriorate day by day. If you eat it the wrong way, according to Harvard Health, adults today are consuming 10-15 times more omega-6 than recommended, and that is promoting chronic inflammation in the body, especially after the age of 60. I know, eggs have long been a familiar dish and considered gold in nutrition, easy to cook, economical, rich in protein, vitamins, and good for the heart. But the problem is not the egg, but how you use it every day, what kind of oil to cook with, what to eat with, how many times a week, and even where you put the egg in the refrigerator. After the age of 60, your body is no longer as easygoing as before. Small mistakes, if prolonged, can become silent agents that destroy your health. And in this video, I show you 4 common mistakes that seniors make when eating eggs, and simple fixes to make them as healthy as you want them to be. 1. Oils cause inflammation. Have you ever noticed what oil you usually fry your eggs in? Many people choose vegetable oil because they think it's light and good for the heart. But in fact, most common vegetable oils like soybean oil, sunflower oil, or canola oil are very high in omega-6. When there is too much omega-6 and not enough omega-3, which is happening to most seniors today, the body falls into a state of chronic inflammation that we don't even realize. Inflammation not only affects the joints, but also increases the risk of plaque buildup in the arteries and cholesterol disorders. I'm not saying you have to give up fried eggs completely, but you can definitely change the fat in a simple way. Extra virgin olive oil, ghee, or poached eggs instead of fried ones are better options for your heart and joints. 2. Processed meat. A fried egg with a few slices of sausage or bacon sounds very traditional, right? But that is a combo that makes eggs lose their inherent nutritional value. Processed meats contain nitrites and nitrates, preservatives that are classified by the World Health Organization who as Group 1, meaning there is clear evidence of causing cancer in humans. In addition, the high amount of sodium and saturated fat in processed meats also contribute to increased blood pressure and peripheral neuropathy, something I see very clearly in patients over 60 years old. If you want to keep eggs for breakfast, try switching to sautéed vegetables, avocado slices, or simply adding some grilled tomatoes with herbs. It is delicious, healthy, and does not silently damage your body every day. 3. Eating too monotonously. I have met many elderly people who have maintained the same breakfast habits for many years, such as fried eggs with white bread, no vegetables, no fruit, no change. This repetition seems convenient and stable, but in fact it is a form of silent, long-term nutritional deficiency. After the age of 60, the body not only needs enough but also variety to fully absorb essential nutrient groups and at the same time avoid harmful excess. When you only eat egg yolks without fiber from green vegetables or fruits, the risk of increasing bad cholesterol LDL is completely possible, especially if this habit is repeated every day. A survey from the U.S. National Institutes of Health (NIH) shows that nearly 40% of elderly people in the U.S. are deficient in vitamin B12 and folate, mainly due to a monotonous breakfast, low in vegetables, and lack of natural micronutrients. By simply changing it up a bit each week, today it's boiled eggs, tomorrow it's steamed eggs with greens, another day it's fried eggs with tomatoes and green onions, you'll not only improve your taste buds, but also help your cardiovascular, nervous, and digestive systems function better. 4. Wrong storage. Finally, the seemingly smallest mistake can have the most worrying consequences: improper storage of eggs. I have asked many uncles and aunts, and most of them keep eggs in the refrigerator door because it is easy to get. But few people know that this is the place with the biggest temperature fluctuations in the entire refrigerator compartment. With a porous outer shell, eggs are susceptible to bacteria if the temperature is unstable. Salmonella bacteria, one of the common causes of food poisoning, is especially dangerous for the elderly with weak immune systems. Don't worry, you don't need to do anything complicated. Just keep eggs in the middle of the refrigerator, in the original box, and avoid leaving them exposed to air for more than 2 hours. You have significantly reduced the risk of infection. If you have ever made one of the 4 mistakes above, it's okay, you are not alone. The important thing is not that you have done something wrong, but that you have begun to realize it and want to change. With just a few small adjustments each day, you can completely turn the familiar egg into a healthy and sustainable companion for old age health. You see, mistakes when eating eggs are actually not difficult to correct. With just a little attention and a few small changes in your daily habits, you can fully enjoy the benefits of this familiar dish. So, where should you start? The first thing I want you to try is to change the way you prepare eggs every day. The body after 60 is very sensitive to monotony. Today, you can eat boiled eggs with some green vegetables or avocado slices. Tomorrow, try fried eggs with ripe tomatoes. Occasionally, be a little creative with baked egg muffins with green onions, bell peppers, or spinach. Each change not only makes your breakfast more interesting, but also provides more groups of nutrients, which are essential to fight the aging process. Next, gradually reduce and stay away from processed meats. I know sausages and bacon are convenient, but the price to pay is not small. Instead, add a little fresh avocado, a few slices of lightly roasted vegetables, or a slice of crisp tofu to your breakfast. Not only will these replace healthy fats, they'll aid digestion, reduce inflammation, and keep you feeling light all morning. And if you've heard me mention egg storage, now's the time to take action. Make sure your eggs are in their original carton, in the middle of the fridge, where the temperature is most consistent. Avoid leaving them in the door, where the temperature fluctuates every time you open and close them. Also, don't leave your eggs out for more than 2 hours, especially on a hot day. This increases your risk of infection, which is especially dangerous for immune systems that weaken with age. Finally, I want you to pay attention to the fat you use to cook your eggs. If you thought vegetable oil was a healthy choice, it's time to rethink that. Instead, try switching to extra virgin olive oil, which has been shown in hundreds of studies to be good for the heart, antioxidant, and anti-inflammatory. You can also use ghee, a type of butter that has had the milk removed, which is very suitable for the elderly. And if you don't want to use oil that day, boiled eggs are a great, simple, and compact solution. You see, there is no need to do anything too difficult or complicated. Just a few small changes, regularly every day. You will see that eggs are not only a familiar dish, but also a great companion for the health of old age. And most of all, you are completely proactive in controlling your health, starting with the pan and eggs in your own kitchen. Not everyone eats eggs the same. The same egg, but the body's reaction is very different for each person, especially after the age of 60. When we are young, we can eat fried eggs with sausage, use any oil, combine them in any way without seeing any effect. But as we get older, the body becomes more sensitive. Small changes in hormones, metabolism, the ability to digest fat or absorb vitamins, all make eggs no longer as gentle as before. If you have problems with blood fat, blood pressure, diabetes, or have been diagnosed with arthritis or vasculitis, then eating eggs needs to be adjusted more reasonably. One thing you may not have heard, according to research from Harvard Medical School, chronic inflammation due to fat imbalance or eating the wrong foods is the underlying factor behind more than 60% of vascular diseases in the elderly. That means you don't need to have a massive heart attack or obvious diabetes complications to be considered dangerous. Just one egg eaten incorrectly, repeatedly long enough, is enough to cause cell damage and silently accumulate in vital organs. Your body is speaking every day, but sometimes we are so used to the noise that we no longer pay attention. If after breakfast you feel bloated, tired, or your mind is not as clear as you would like, it is not simply a problem of age. These symptoms are very likely a warning that you are not eating eggs properly. Some people feel worse on cold mornings when their knees are stiff or their limbs feel slightly numb. They blame it on the weather, on old age, on their bones and joints. But in fact, Diet is closely related to the inflammatory response in the body, especially after a breakfast that is high in fat, lacking in fiber, or combining the wrong foods. There are older people who still maintain the habit of eating fried eggs with white bread every morning. No vegetables, no fruit, unchanged for many months. This habit sounds very simple, even stable, but it leads to serious nutritional deficiencies. B vitamins, fiber, antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, essential for maintaining healthy memory, bones, and blood vessels, are all gradually depleted if you repeat the same monotonous meal. A 10-year survey in Japan showed that elderly people who maintained a varied breakfast had a 30% lower risk of cognitive decline than those who ate a fixed breakfast. This shows that nutrition is not just about eating enough, but also eating right and eating a variety, especially during a period when health needs to be preserved like old age. So if you want to keep eggs in your breakfast, the first thing to do is to change the way you prepare and combine them. Eggs do not need to be eliminated. You can simply add a few slices of avocado, some steamed vegetables, or replace the usual frying oil with extra virgin olive oil or ghee. Not only does changing up your breakfast make it less boring, it also exposes your body to more nutrient groups. Try one day with boiled eggs, sesame salt, and steamed vegetables. The next day, you can steam eggs with chopped vegetables, or make a baked egg muffin with cherry tomatoes and green onions. If you like sunny-side-up eggs, let the yolks cook until just done, fry them in a little olive oil, and serve with a plate of lightly sautéed vegetables. Healthy fats and greens will help your body better absorb fat-soluble vitamins, especially A, D, E, and K, which are essential for the immune system and brain in older adults. I also encourage you to add some fruit or whole grains to your breakfast if you can. A spoonful of chia seeds, a few slices of ripe banana, or some whole oats can make a difference. Not only do they help your digestive system work better, but they also slow down the absorption of cholesterol, which is important if you're watching your cholesterol levels. These small combinations, repeated regularly every day, not only protect your health but also improve your quality of life, naturally, safely, and sustainably. I believe that, after all, the most valuable thing in old age is not strict abstinence, but understanding yourself, making smart choices, and living a little slower to listen to your body. An egg, if prepared properly, eaten with a proactive and grateful spirit, will still be a reliable companion in your daily journey of maintaining health. And I hope that, from tomorrow, your breakfast will no longer be monotonous, but will be the beginning of a peaceful day, complete in both body and spirit. Eggs are not at fault. The fault lies in how we use them. If you've made it this far, you'll probably agree with me on one thing. Health at this age doesn't come from big changes, but from small, repeated choices every day. A spoonful of the wrong oil can be the start of a long-term inflammatory response. A wrong combination of foods can make eggs lose their value completely. A breakfast that's repeated too often can easily put the body in a state of imbalance. And one-time storing eggs incorrectly can also increase the risk of unexpected infections. But the great thing is, all of those mistakes can be fixed, starting tomorrow. You don't have to do anything too difficult. Just be a little more careful when standing in the kitchen, a little more gentle when choosing dishes, and a little more concerned about your own body's reactions after each meal. And what about you? Which of the 4 mistakes above have you found yourself making? Are you starting to change your breakfast habits? Or have you got any tips to stay healthier with your familiar egg dish? I look forward to hearing you share your feelings, experiences, or perspectives in the comments section below. Because, who knows, your little story might be the inspiration for someone, somewhere, to start making positive changes like you. And if you find what I shared today useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We will meet again in the next video, where I will reveal a breakfast dish that seems extremely healthy, but can secretly cause harm if used incorrectly. Trust me, you don't want to miss that. See you again on a beautiful morning, where a meal is not only about nutrition, but also the way you take care of yourself in the most complete way.